On your cue, Jesse. You're muted at the moment, Jesse. There you go.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it is so nice to virtually see all of you today. Welcome to the 2021 Mayor's Art Lunch at Home. My name is Jesse Wente, and I am delighted to be here hosting the Mayor's Arts Awards Lunch once again. I'd like to just quickly acknowledge that I'm coming to you from the Dish with One Spoon treaty territory. This is an ancient covenant between the Haudenosaunee and my people, the Anishinaabe, and it's a reminder that we only take that which we need, and we leave what we don't, so others may also share in the wealth of this place. As some of you will know, this is the 6th year I have hosted this lunch, and I always enjoy seeing who in the city full of amazing artists gets to go home with the awards. Last year, as we pivoted this event into a digital format, I noted that it was the strangest year I had hosted. And now, the strangeness of online awards has, unfortunately, become normal. But we will get back to in-person events someday, hopefully soon. But even so, I am very grateful for the opportunity to get together with you all to celebrate the artists who have continued to inspire us and get us through this past year. Today marks the 16th annual Mayor's Arts Lunch, a really terrific event organized by the Toronto Arts Foundation. Thanks to the sponsors of the event and of the awards finalists themselves for making all of this possible. Over the next 60 minutes, the producer's fingers are absolutely crossed on this one, we will have the opportunity to hear about and celebrate some of Toronto's most exceptional talent. For the duration of the program, you will see Marcia Martins on the screen providing ASL interpretation. We also have closed captioning enabled for this event. This can be accessed by clicking on the closed captioning icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you have any issues with technology, please indicate this in the chat, and one of our tech team will private message you with some assistance. So, now that we all know what we're here for, let's take a moment to figure out who we have in the attendance today, who's online. Unlike the live event, I can't just spot you in the audience and pick you out and make you stand up and say hello. So count yourselves lucky, Jacoba Nappin, but there is a function on your screen called chat. So please use it to say who you are and if you are representing an organization. And please don't just let the panelists know, make sure you're writing it to everyone. We want this still to be an opportunity to meet and greet with all of your fellow participants in arts and culture here in the city. Everyone with us today, you are all deserving of celebration and acknowledgement. You've been through a lot this year, maybe even just this week, and we are glad to have you here today. This year, we have a number of exceptional leaders leaving organizations. We cannot overstate the value of the contributions they have made to the city, to the development of arts in the country, to the careers and fortunes of artists they have nurtured. We are better for their commitment, in many cases, tremendous sacrifices they have made to keep their organizations going. These individuals have served their respective organizations brilliantly. Richard Rose as Artistic Director of Tarragon Theatre. Joyce Zeman's 26 years as Director of Arts, Media, and Entertainment MBA program at Schulich School of Business at York University. Alan McInnes, nearly 2 decades as Artistic Director of Young People's Theatre. Tim Jones, 23 years at the helm of Artscape. Jason Ryle moves on from Imaginative Film, Media, and Arts Festival after 18 years in varying capacities, including as Artistic Director. Nicole Anderson, 14 years as CEO of Business and the Arts. Aviva Fleshing, 13 years at Canadian Dance Assembly as Executive Director. Leela Karim, Founding Executive Director of North York Arts. Congratulations to all of you. I know there are many more of you out there, so drop us a comment in the chat, and you can tell everyone what you are celebrating this year. And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce our #1 supporter for this event, Mayor John Tory, to say a few words.
Well, Jesse, thank you. And oh, sorry about that. You don't have to give any introduction. That would waste time, and then the producers will be mad at us. May I just start by congratulating you on your recent success too, and everything you did before to earn that. And we're looking forward to continuing to work with you in your new capacity. So thank you. And may I say I'm pleased to be here with my colleague in public life, Lisa MacLeod, the minister. I've known Lisa for a long time, and I told her when she got this job, this is the best job in government because of how important it is and because it's gets to have you associated with people like gathered today. And I saw just from checking before I came on, there's almost 300 people on this virtual event, much as we might like to be together, which we will be again next year. And I want to just acknowledge as well my council colleagues who are here. These are people that are all very committed to the arts, and they've proven that by their attendance. Councillors Gary Crawford, Paul Ainsley, Brad Bradford, Shelley Carroll, Joe Cressy, John Fillion, Mike Layton, Jennifer McKelvey, Jay Robinson, Deputy Mayor Michael Thompson, Councillor Kristen Wong-Tam, and Councillor Cynthia Lai. They too are people and who are steadfast supporters, I can assure you, at the City Council, as all the City Council are. I'm very, very happy to be joining as well the Toronto Arts Foundation and the Arts Council, led by Claire and Kathleen and a great team of staff and board members who really do such a great job and have done a great job during incredibly trying times during the pandemic. And I thank them for that. I apologize for the fact that I can't stay for the whole thing because at 1 o'clock, I'm going to receive literally a check for billions of dollars for public transit from the other governments. And I need to get the check and rush it straight over to the bank in case there's any difficulty, so that we have that money to do things we much need to do in the city. And so unfortunately, that's just when the others could do it. And so I'm going off to do that. You know, one thing that hasn't changed through the pandemic, this event has changed for a second year in a row, and a lot of things have changed for a lot of people, including artists. But the one thing that hasn't changed is the importance of the arts to any successful city and the importance of individual artists to the well-being and the quality of life and the general set of foundational values and the storytelling and the getting to know each other and the embracing and the understanding of each other that comes from led by artists. We simply would not have made it through the pandemic if it weren't for the arts. And, you know, it's interesting because people will say, well, you know, what about the arts? There were no performances going on. People couldn't go to the galleries. People read books. They listened to music. They watched film. They appreciated art in many different ways. And all of that, I'm absolutely convinced, given some of the challenges people faced with their own mental health and state of well-being, was fundamental to people getting through this so far. It was that talent that was evident and that helped us get through this, notwithstanding the artists themselves were struggling as probably never before. And I should tell you, in the breakout rooms that I was in, I visited 4 or 5, the topic of kind of learning some lessons from the pandemic about things like income security was very much being discussed. And I took some careful notes of what was said. I also, as someone, I'm very, very bullish about the future of the city. The artists, the quality of life, the commitment to the arts, the smart people, the wonderful educational institutions, the critical mass of business, the commitment to inclusion, those things are all still there as they were before the pandemic. And so I think when we can get back to that, I'm very bullish. And I know that the arts and artists are going to play a huge part in inspiring people again and giving them a sense of positive feeling about their city and in starting again to tell the stories, including stories of the pandemic that need to be told. And so I'm very positively inclined about what is going to happen with leadership from the arts. The numbers were jarring. I'm not going to repeat them. They were in my notes, but I'm very, very conscious at the time that they're trying to put this program on. I will just say to you, though, that I know as the mayor, my colleagues know, and the other governments know, because I've talked to them about this, that the industries represented by the arts and culture are reeling from this experience, and that there are more things we have to do beyond what has been done. I will say that the resilience, the sort of determination shown by artists and by arts organizations has been extraordinary. The innovation that we've seen. I was talking in the breakout rooms about people who've gone to streaming and found ways to actually monetize that with good support from patrons. And so I think that's all very important. And the innovation with people taking to work, yes, using streaming, but also on outdoors, parks, porches, drive-ins, flatbed trucks, you name it, people have come up with ways in which they could carry on with their work, but also carry on with the joy that the arts bring to people. And I think that the fact that people have made that effort both to continue to perform in the broadest sense, but also to continue to appreciate the arts shows how important it is to people's general state of well-being in a city, because it does calm us. It makes us smile. It brings us together. It soothes us at times when people have been incredibly troubled and struggling incredibly. And it always brings people together, which I think is something that's always a key challenge in a city as diverse as this one. And I think that's going to be true in the recovery. One of the things we're doing in some of the city programs, like the Year of Public Art, which has had to be pushed back a bit, Show Love, TO, some of the things I'm hearing about with Luminato today and so on with these programs, they're going to be important to getting people back into their city. People are nervous and they're lacking in self-confidence. They're used to being cooped up, and we need them to be inspired by something to come back out and to shop local and dine local and appreciate the arts. And that is going to be in part done by employing artists to do just that as part of these civic programs and others, and by getting arts organizations the support they need to do something perhaps a bit different, but to do something nonetheless. It's very much a part of all of our plans that we have. And as I say, we're just getting ready to push the green button whenever the health people tell us that it's time that we can have these kinds of gatherings again. I won't go through the list because Jesse did, and they were all people I had a chance to meet some of them in the turnout rooms, but there's a generational turnover taking place in the arts sector, and that's always a good thing when it happens. And I just want to say thank you to those who've served so well and for so long, and to say welcome to some of the new leaders that I met today earlier on. And good luck, because again, you come at a time that is vitally important to the well-being of our city, and at a challenging time for the organizations that you're going to lead. But we need to celebrate our past as we move forward. And of course, I congratulate all the finalists today. Again, a number of whom I met in the different rooms before we came together today. But the work of leaders past and present has been vital to get us to where we are, and it's going to be vital to take us forward. And the same is true, of course, of the artists. I mean, the dynamism of artists, the innovation, the patience, the determination, the richness of the pool of artists that we have in the city of crossing the entire spectrum has been fundamental to our success. We were not the fastest growing city in North America before the pandemic by accident. We were because of the fact that we had, for example, I can just remember in all the economic competitions we had where we're competing for investment here in Toronto, our thriving arts and cultural sector is absolutely a top of mind consideration. And if people don't know about it, we tell them, and it often can make a decisive difference in getting those people to come and locate here. So again, I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your adaptation. You have my absolutely full and committed support going forward, as you have had throughout the pandemic and before, because I just believe that any successful city, any humane city, any inclusive city, any creative, innovative city, any city that is attractive for others to move to and invest in is going to be a city that celebrates and supports the arts and supports artists. And I know in the latter category, there's a lot we might be looking at doing. And this is some of what I was discussing in the breakout rooms with people as to how we can take account of the fact that artists have had a terrible, terrible time. And it isn't just going to be a matter of the doors opening again to get them back on their feet. It's going to be a matter of us taking some steps to perhaps provide some other forms of longer term support, perhaps in partnership with the other governments. I hope that you have hope. The vaccination efforts probably provide the greatest hope, and we really are stepping up the momentum. We had a 10% increase in the last week alone in the percentage of people in the city that have had their first dose. So that shows you the momentum that's developing, because it took from the beginning until now to get to 40%, and then it took 1 week to go from 40 to 50. And now we're on our way to 65 and 70 and all the way up as high as we can go. And I hope that together with this commitment from me and my colleagues and the other governments I know gives you hope. Because we need to have hope, and we're lucky to live in a blessed place in all the world, and we're going to make sure it's back to being that way as soon as this pandemic is behind us. I look forward to that time, and I know we'll be celebrating together in many different ways and many different venues, and I thank you for your artistry, for your patience, for your determination, and for what you do to make the city the admired city that it is around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Tory. I don't know if you really understand how important those words are to everyone in this virtual room. Thank you so much for your support over the years and during this really difficult year for everyone. Thank you. My name is Kathleen Sharp, and I'm chair of the Toronto Arts Foundation's Board of Directors. I'd like to take this moment to address those of you who are sponsors, donors, and partners in our programming. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your incredible investment of time, funding, and on-the-ground effort, and just general blood, sweat, and tears in shaping Toronto as an arts-centered city. We are lucky to have so many arts lovers who volunteer their time to keep our organization strong. And so, on to our first award of today, the Toronto Arts and Business Award. It celebrates businesses that make important contributions to the arts in Toronto through innovative and transformative partnerships. Established in 2006, this award is presented in partnership with the Toronto Arts Foundation, Business in the Arts, and the Toronto Star. Our assessment panel for this award has selected one recipient, and I'm particularly delighted to welcome the Honorable Lisa MacLeod, who is the Minister of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Culture Industries, to announce our next recipient. Turn it over to you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Kathleen, and it's wonderful to see you, and it was wonderful to hear the excellent remarks from your worship, Mayor Tory. I'll be very brief. I often talk about the spectacular double bottom line that this ministry represents, and I think that this award actually speaks volumes to that social and cultural fabric that it provides, but also the economic benefits of our suite of sectors, and in particular the arts bring to Ontario. As Mayor Tory said, Toronto is vibrant, a world-class city. And as we look at tourism recovery, we're going to ensure that gateway cities like Toronto and Ottawa are going to be well represented and that their vibrant arts community continues to be seen. We have over $1 billion in supports for our sectors in order to ensure that we are going to not only survive this crisis and pandemic, but then thrive post-pandemic. And that's why we were proud to increase the Ontario Arts Council's budget by $25 million last year and an additional $10 million this year. And we'll continue to make sure that we add to those supports. So with that in mind, I think it's really important that we talk about the strength of the business community, supporting our arts community, and making sure that we contribute to the $26 billion bottom line that is the arts community here in Ontario. And so I'm pleased right now to announce the winner of the Toronto Arts and Business Award. As one of their nominators noted, quote, "For over a decade, this company has provided crucial financial support to arts education in Toronto." So please welcome Paul Orlander, the Executive Vice President, individual customer for Canada Life, to accept this award. Paul is also on the board of Musical Stage Company, and I want to congratulate him. And Paul, the stage is all yours. Congratulations.
Thank you, Minister MacLeod. Thank you, Kathleen. And thank you to the Toronto Arts Foundation, Business for the Arts, and the Toronto Star for this exciting recognition. I'd also like to thank Mayor Tory, city councillors, government representatives, and everyone else here with us today. On behalf of all of us at Canada Life, we're so honored to receive this award. 2020 was filled with unexpected challenges because of the pandemic. And as the pandemic continues, we know some of these challenges are going to continue as well. And 2020 was also marked by events that called on organizations and society as a whole to better examine issues like systemic racial injustice. And through it all, we've seen the arts community respond in truly remarkable ways. When last year's events challenged arts organizations to think and work differently to engage with the community, Canada Life wanted to support you in doing that. We want to reinforce that the work you're doing matters more than ever and is making a difference. Through all the ups and downs, our artists and our arts organizations remain focused on the communities that turn to you for connection and inspiration. And because of your dedication, people have been able to find different ways to learn and engage with others, which is incredibly important. Canada Life is proud to support the arts because we know that they make a strong social impact and can inspire us to create positive change. Art has the power to open minds and to different experiences, to challenges and to cultures. It can educate and motivate us to understand complex social issues and help foster diversity and inclusion. Art shows people at our best, at that magic intersection of imagination and emotion and craft. So again, thank you so much, Mayor Tory, and everyone here today for this award. It's an honor and a privilege to be here to accept it on behalf of Canada Life.
Well, thank you. Congratulations to Canada Life. Thank you so much, Mayor Tory and Minister MacLeod. This year's awards come at a really important time for all of us, and your words are all so very appreciated. Thank you also, Jessie, for reprising your role as host extraordinaire today, even with your busy schedule as chair of the board of the Canada Council for the Arts. Congratulations on your new strategic plan. My name is Claire Hopkinson. I'm director and CEO of Toronto Arts Council and Toronto Arts Foundation. I'm truly awed by the leadership, the commitment, and the talent here in our virtual room today. I know many of you and want to thank you for taking the time to say hi in the chat room. Each single one of you has been invited to be with us today because you are an inspiration to our community and to our city. If ever there was a time to celebrate your impact and your accomplishments, this is it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your important contributions, civic leaders, art supporters, and artists alike. Not only are you surviving a global crisis, but your inspiration and creativity are making a tremendous difference to all those sheltering at home. And as we think of the realities outside our doors today, we know that Toronto's arts sector has been devastated by the pandemic, as pointed out by the mayor. Arts and entertainment has been hit harder than any sector, and we are expected to be the last to recover. And our individual artists have borne the brunt, especially those working in the performing arts. And yet, despite the extraordinary hardship, from the very outset of the pandemic, you have all responded, learning new technologies, creating safe spaces, and adapting to changing regulations on a daily, well, I should say sometimes hourly basis. Your art has reminded us that joy is worth pursuing and that better times are coming. Inspired by your example, we at Toronto Arts Council and Foundation have taken every opportunity we could to encourage and direct support your way. We were simply thrilled that hundreds of Torontonians, as well as deeply supportive corporate sponsors, stepped up immediately when we launched the TO Artist COVID-19 Response Fund, allowing us to support every single eligible application, a miracle. We've also forged a first-time partnership with arts councils throughout Ontario and across Canada to advocate for basic income for artists and all gig workers. And in collaboration with many of Toronto's Black arts leaders, we are designing a new Black arts funding program to be launched this summer. We are listening carefully to the needs expressed by our Black and Indigenous communities as to how we can be more welcoming, more helpful. So like you, we're beginning to look ahead to a time beyond the pandemic. To that end, TAC has just announced Open Door 2021, a $1 million plus program to support arts organizations and collectives as you transition, transform, and thrive in the months to come. You know, Toronto truly is a fantastic summer city. For this summer, our outdoors is set to become an extraordinary venue, with the Dream in High Park inviting us all in, our Arts in the Parks program rebounding with pent-up audience demand, and every outdoor space a potential stage or gallery waiting for the magic to happen. I was reminded the other day that Henri Matisse once said, "Creativity takes courage." Responding to this past year with the inspiration and fortitude you have shown is the epitome of courage. At Toronto Arts Council and Foundation, we are incredibly proud of the contribution the arts has made to our city, and we look forward to the important role we'll all be playing in opening Toronto back up, in bringing back life and joy to our neighborhoods and our main streets. And finally, let me add my congratulations to the amazing finalists today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire. I want to note one group who makes this ceremony possible every year, our award nominators. These awards rely on community members nominating the people who inspire them. And this year's nominations have certainly brought us an inspiring bunch of artists. I thank you for your generosity in taking the time to put these exceptional finalists in the spotlight. Also essential to this process is the incredible team of award panelists who have come together to help select this year's finalists. Each panelist has a bio in your program book, and the link has been posted in the chat. So I encourage you to look them all up and check them out. For 12 years now, the foundation has been commissioning a work of art from a Toronto artist as the award that we hand out today. This year's award plate is created by Esma Muhammad, who is in the Zoom room with us today and has a bio in your program book. Here is an image of the plate. You may be able to see it in the image, but on the back, it's written, "Blackness is a multiplicity, not a monolith." Thank you, Esma, for this beautiful and inspiring work. And now, let's give out our next award. The Toronto Arts Foundation Margot Bindhart and Rita Davies Award is a $10,000 cash prize, with finalists receiving $1,000. The award is presented every 2 years and celebrates an individual artist, creator, volunteer, or administrator who has demonstrated creative cultural leadership in the development of arts and culture in Toronto. The award is named after two remarkable women who have made major contributions to the development of the arts, and the award is supported by John and Rafaela Dunlap, with the finalist awards supported by Neera Chopra. Take a look at our finalists.
Denise Bolduc is a creative director and producer who programs to transform perspectives and activate change. Her career of 3 decades represents connections with celebrated artists, thinkers, and leading cultural institutions, with an emphasis on elevating Indigenous voices. Our award panel said, "It is extraordinary the corners of the city she has touched." Del Mahabadi, founder and chief executive director of the nonprofit music organization Waveland. Del is driven by the power that music holds in influencing our society and is committed to building vibrant and inclusive communities via Canadian music. Our panel noted that this is someone who is opening doors, identifying gaps, and making things more accessible in this discipline. Dwayne Morgan began his career in the spoken word in 1993 and is the author of 13 published and 9 audio collections of his work. Morgan was a 2016 finalist for the Premier's Award for Excellence in the Arts and a 2013 inductee into the Scarborough Walk of Fame. The panel was delighted by his extensive body of work, noting the need for recognition of such a wonderful life of work.
Wow, what a powerhouse crew that is. And now let's welcome our 3 finalists to the stage. Hello to Denise Bolduc, Del Mahabadi, and Dwayne Morgan as our finalists. Hello, everyone. Oh, you're so beautiful and awesome. I love you all. As our finalists leave your screen, over to Mayor Tory to introduce our presenter.
I don't know if my video is turned on. I'm trying to get everything turned on here because it was supposed to stay off.
Nope, video's on. You're good.
Oh, perfect. All right. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So to present our winner, would you please welcome to the virtual stage somebody that I just have the utmost admiration for, a real visionary, a real city builder, somebody who, really, for those of us who may not have understood what placemaking was when it comes to the arts and to Toronto, he could take us today. We could take him. He could take us to places that, where placemaking became something that was very real and made the city much better for it. And that is the former CEO of Artscape, Tim Jones. Tim, come on up and present the award.
Thank you, Mayor Tory. Margot Bindhart and Rita Davies have both made iconic contributions to the culture of our city. I believe Rita's here with us today, and she's still contributing in so many phenomenal ways. So it's a great honor to present this award in both of their names. Congratulations to all of the finalists. Now I'm really thrilled and delighted to announce that the recipient of the 2021 Margot Bindhart and Rita Davies Award is none other than Denise Bolduc. Congratulations, Denise. The podium is yours.
Wow, I totally didn't expect that. Thank you very much, everyone. Wow. This nomination and now this win, it's crazy. Thank you. I'm so nervous. There's so many people in this city who deserve this award, and I'm very, very honored and humbled. You know, to follow in any footstep behind Margot and Rita is pretty incredible. Thank you, everyone. This is such a boost, especially during this crazy time. I've been actually, you know, really contemplating my role and what I value most and what I need to do to impact, change, and be a better human, especially with relationship to nature and water and relationships with all of you. This is so lovely to receive at this time in my life. A privilege to be here with all of you, and I have been so fortunate. Chimigwich to the Toronto Arts Council, my nominator, and I'm deeply grateful for this recognition. Sorry, I can't believe I'm so emotional. Thank you, Chimigwich.
Denise! Oh, Denise, you won. Oh, so great, Denise, and you're so deserving, and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations, and congratulations to your fellow nominees, also extraordinary artists and cultural folks and who have made amazing contributions to the city. So thank you all. I'm so happy. And now we get to give out more awards, which is even greater. The next award is the Emerging Artist Award, created to support the development or completion of new work. This $10,000 cash prize was established in 2006 and is supported by past chair Susan Crocker and John Hunkin. And the two finalists will each receive $2,000 thanks to the support of the Bullmash Siegel Fund. So let's meet our finalists.
Britta B. is a poet, performer, MC, voice actor, and educator. She teaches poetry and social justice workshops with organizations like JAYU, the League of Canadian Poets, and Prologue for the Performing Arts. Our panel was certain that Britta is the next rising star in spoken word. Olivia Short, a Toronto-based transdisciplinary performing artist and musician. They were awarded and named one of the 2020 Buddies in Bad Times Emerging Queer Artists. Our award panel noted the impact that Olivia has had pushing boundaries in their field, calling them inspiring, creative, and innovative. Irma Villafuerte is a Toronto-based dancer and educator. She's been part of Aluna Theatre's Pan American Roots Festival, choreographed for Trey Anthony's How Black Mothers Say I Love You, and is currently incubating a solo, Nudo Desnudo. The panel was excited by the aspects of social justice in her work and called Irma a majestic artist with a hypnotic presence.
Wow, another amazing collection of talented people there. So let's welcome our three finalists to the stage. Hello to Britta Badur, Olivia Short, and Irma Villafuerte. Oh my goodness, you're all there. So much talent and awesomeness. My mind is blown. Thank you all and good luck. As our finalists leave your screen, I'm once again going to pass it over to Mayor Tory to introduce our presenter.
There was a time when the organization that was run by our presenter today was itself emerging. And there was a time not too long ago when she herself was the recipient of this very award. So it's very fitting that Wayne Mengesha should present the award today for the emerging artist. So Wayne, over to you.
Thank you, Mayor Tory. Yes, this is an exciting award. It definitely meant a lot for me to be supported by my community at that time. And this award seeks to amplify an artist at the early stage of their career. And I'm really excited for all the nominees who are incredible artists to be recognized in this way. And thank you for continuing to strive and make art in this time and shining a light for us all. Now to open the envelope. I am delighted to announce that the Emerging Artist Award goes to Rita Bador, aka Britta B. Congratulations, Britta. The floor is yours.
Yes!
Woo!
There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you
Get
Yes,
the chant belt.
yes.
Okay. I know I only have a little bit of time, so thank you to, I want to say first and foremost, Olivia and Irma. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be in your company, to have met you last week virtually, and to hear, I'm looking at Whitney Houston right now. She's doing this pose in front of me. And so when I look at that, I'm thinking about how you each spoke to seeing the shine and seeing the light and all of the emerging artists that you're teaching and you're mentoring. So I feel so honored to be in this space with you. Thank you so much. This award is really a symbol of my community, my nominators this year and last year. This is round 2 for me. And I feel so privileged to have the richness and relationships that I have with so many people in my community. As I was applying for this award last year, even someone in my community said, you don't need this award. You are an award winner. You are someone who's already making an impact. So to anyone who's in this room and beyond this room who feels like some days you're not a winner, I feel you, I get you. I want to say thank you to my husband, my partner. It's such a privilege to have somebody who supports you day in, day out, and you live with them. This award also really humbles me because it reminds me of growing up in Kingston and coming from a working class family, my mom and dad working really hard. And I'm so happy that they get to see this, and that, you know, I think I'm the first artist award winner in the family. So the fact that they get to watch this really means a lot. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't express myself through poetry. So let's go with the last 30 seconds that I have. Before some part of you forgets, under pressure, precious moments you manifest. And you know something as simple as beauty is a confusing matter, but it makes a difference to have, to hold, to share. It shows up in the most terrible terrors, tempers, and disasters, but if only a glimpse it is that very glimpse of inner kindness and resilience that requires you to count on that kindness, create cinematic brightness out of the dark spaces you climbed out of, and claim appreciation for every example that proves there's still some part of you that pulses and moves. Yes, there's still some part of you that is not without hope, hope, hope. Good love. I can't believe I'm wearing a belt right now. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Britta. That was amazing. And what a fantastic finale to that speech. My name is Dina Grazer. As chair of the Toronto Arts Council's Board of Directors, I have the privilege of hearing directly about inspiring work being created by artists working in every discipline all across the city. I can tell you, I wish that we had 10 times the resources at the Toronto Arts Council to be able to support every artist who has been producing fantastic work, and particularly against so many odds in this last challenging year. Nonetheless, I'm proud that our transparent and equitable artist-directed granting has allowed so many new voices in particular to share their talents and stories with the world. And now I am delighted to announce our upcoming performance, a short film by Denise Fujiwara, directed by William Young, and it's called Naperabo. In Denise's words, Naperabo is a faceless ghost, a fantastical creature that sows fear, which seems to have reemerged in the wake of the pandemic. Commissioned in Toronto by Older and Reckless, it has just won a one-reeler short film competition 2020 Award of Excellence in Los Angeles. So congratulations, Denise and William, and thank you for sharing this work with us today. I hope you all enjoy.
wow. I mean, wow. Thank you to Denise Fujiwara and William Yong for sharing that remarkable piece with us. That was just amazing. That's one of the things I love about this particular award show, is that we actually have art in the middle of it as we are celebrating artists. On to our next award. This is another award for emerging artists. In this case, the Emerging Jazz Artist Award, a $10,000 cash prize, and in post-COVID times, the opportunity to perform at the TD Toronto Jazz Festival. Finalists each receive $1,000. The award, so generously sponsored by Manuel and Cheryl Buchwald, furthers the career of an outstanding emerging jazz artist and is intended to support the pre-production, production, and a recording of original music composed by the recipient. Let's take a look at the finalists.
Virginia Mcdonald is a 2020 International Clarinetist Corona Competition first prize winner, known for her lyrical and soulful clarinet playing. One panelist said, "She explodes any preconceived ideas about the jazz clarinet. She needs to be heard and acknowledged." Joanna Majoko is a Toronto-based composer, bandleader, and one of Canada's most exciting young vocalists. She is a regular presence on the bandstand with some of the country's top musicians, and our award panel noted her palette as very strong, wide, and diverse. In their words, she is everything that jazz is now. Sarah Thor is a Juno Award-nominated drummer and recording artist based in Toronto. Sarah is currently performing, recording, and touring the world with different artists, as well as performing solo and with her own band. The panel highlighted Sarah as an amazing leader, educator, and performer who is already exciting audiences on the world stage.
Another category absolutely packed with talent. So let's welcome our three finalists to the virtual stage. Hello to Virginia Mcdonald, Joanna Majoko, and Sarah Thaler. Oh, hello! Oh, such amazingness. I can't wait to see you all perform live. Congratulations to you all. And as our finalists leave the screen, I'm going to turn it over to Claire Hopkinson to introduce our next presenter.
Thank you. So to present this award, it is now my pleasure to introduce Josh Grossman. Josh is the artistic director for Toronto Downtown Jazz, which produces the annual TD Toronto Jazz Festival. Josh is also the founding artistic director and conductor for the 18-piece Toronto Jazz Orchestra, now in its 21st year. Josh?
Thank you, Claire. It's such a delight to be here to announce this year's recipient. These are three artists that have performed at the festival. We've seen them perform in person. We know they're incredible. And I do want to note that before we read the winner here, the panel this year was delighted to recommend these three musicians who are all women. It's the first time it's happened in the history of the award. And as I look back at the finalists since 2014, it's an incredibly interesting, diverse group of musicians that have been nominated and finalists. These are all exceptional artists. We cannot wait to see what each of them accomplishes. And it is my pleasure now to announce the winner for the Emerging Jazz Award. And that person is Joanna Majoko. Congratulations, Joanna. The podium is yours.
I am so nervous. I'm sweating. I'm being fully honest here. I just want to thank you all so much. I did not expect this to happen. I'm very much in shock. A very special thank you to the Toronto Arts Foundation for selecting me for this prestigious award. I know this was not an easy decision to come to. To my running mates, Sarah Thaler and Virginia Mcdonald, it has been an honor to be included among such accomplished and extraordinary artists such as yourselves. I'd like to send a very special thank you to my friend and collaborator, Jeremy Ledbetter. I can vividly remember you calling me to ask for my blessing to nominate me. And I just want to thank you and tell you how this just humbled me. Thank you for essentially believing in me and reminding me that I have a place in our music community, a story and sound to share, and it is worth the support and acknowledgement of this prestigious award.
And lastly, this award and its prize would not be made possible without the trusted support of Cheryl and Manuel Buchwald. Thank you for not only investing in our music community, but essentially advocating for the belief that our dreams and musical aspirations deserve such a prestigious level of support. Thank you all so much. I am shaking with so much adrenaline right now. This is so exciting. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Congratulations, Joanna. And wow, Denise Bolduc, Britta B, Joanna. What an award show we are having, folks. I mean, you cannot hand out awards to more deserving people than that. So congratulations. Next up, another award. It is the Muriel Sharon Award, a $10,000 cash prize with finalists receiving $1,000 each that celebrates an artist or creator who's made a contribution to the cultural life of Toronto through outstanding achievement in music or dance. In addition to the prize money, the 2021 recipient will receive a complimentary week-long stay at Valley View Artist Retreat. This year, the award will be presented in the field of dance. And here come our finalists.
Emily Chung is recognized as one of the leaders practicing traditional and contemporary Chinese dance in Toronto. Chung is passionate about preserving Chinese culture and collaborating with artists from other disciplines and backgrounds to create works with unique aesthetic sensibilities. Our panel noted the fine-toothed understanding of socio-political states present in Emily's work. Mi Young Kim is one of the leading figures in the Korean-Canadian cultural scene. She works as a dancer, choreographer, instructor, and founder of the Korean Dance Studies Society of Canada. Our panelists noted that Mi Young Kim's performances quite simply take the audience into another world. Vivine Scarlett is founder, executive director, and curator for Dance Immersion, an organization that supports dancers and dances of the African diaspora. Her work continues to provide platforms that serve Canadian artists of African ancestry with opportunities that lay a foundation for continued growth and representation. As our panel noted, she has made space for so many of Toronto's artists.
And now let's welcome our three finalists to the stage. Hello to Emily Cheung, Mi Young Kim, and Vivine Scarlett. Oh my goodness, so much talent. This is a little overwhelming, folks. Congratulations to you all, and good luck in the awards. As our finalists leave our screen, I'm going to welcome back Claire Hopkinson to introduce our presenter.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to you all. And now it is my pleasure to have the one and only Peggy Baker join us on screen to present this award. Peggy is celebrating an incredible 50-year anniversary at Peggy Baker Dance Projects. I'm going to hope you all join me in welcoming her and celebrating this career milestone. Over to you, Peggy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Claire. I'm thrilled to be here. These artists have broken ground in Toronto, and they're holding that ground. These are visionary artists. Emily, Mi Young, and Vivine, you have my greatest respect. Thank you for your incredible work here. And now I'm going to open my envelope. The Muriel Sharon Award for 2021 goes to Vivine Scarlett. Congratulations, Vivine. The podium is yours.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Wow. First of all, I give thanks for the many blessings that has enabled me to be here today. I give thanks to the ancestors for the path they have paved, offering protection and guidance as I dance forward. I give thanks to everyone gathered, knowing that we can only do what we do by working together. Thanks to the Toronto Arts Foundation, Emily and Mi Young, how wonderful to be in the company of you two amazing women as we continue to cross each other's paths as we do what we do. I thank Mimi Beck and Rosalind Jacob Edwards for taking me into their environment to mentor me and my vision. Janet Sears for her belief in me and sharing her life through art and showing me so many things, supporting me all these years. And Miriam Adams for supporting me in so many ways over the years and working towards putting my name forward for this award. Bonnie and Larry, my sisters, for always being there. And Tamia, I thank you for taking on the task of dance immersion forward. I do what I do because I believe in the greatness of who we are and the importance of sharing knowledge of the past, learning about the present, so together we can be and build strong shoulders for the next generation to stand. There's so many people to thank, and I thank everyone who has been a part of my journey as we continue to do what we do in life art. Ashe.
Congratulations, Vivine. Wow, what a crew of award winners we have got. It is, what a great show this is. In 2007, on to our next award. In 2007, Martha Burns, Jim Fleck, and Sandra and Jim Pitlato recognized that an event celebrating the arts in our city could not be complete unless we recognized the dynamic contributions of our youth. So they created the Arts for Youth Award. This award offers our biggest cash prize of the day, $20,000, to celebrate an individual, collective organization that has demonstrated an outstanding commitment to engaging youth in Toronto in the arts. A generous donation from Diana Bennett and Spencer Lanthier ensures that everyone goes away happy in this category, with $2,000 to go to each of our 2 finalists. And let's meet those finalists.
Books, Art, Music, or BAM Collective, is a youth-led group aiming to empower equity-seeking young individuals through art and community engagement. BAM brings awareness to issues that matter to youth and seeks to promote empowerment through community art workshops and gatherings. As our panel commented, this collective is filled with fresh voices, creating bigger impact and opportunities. Paprika Festival has been a launching pad for young and emerging artists since 2001. Paprika offers free year-round training programs that culminate in their annual festival and showcases new work by new generation artists. Looking at their exceptional list of alumni, our panel noted, Paprika isn't just training artists, but is building leaders. And finally, X-Space Cultural Center is dedicated to providing emerging and student artists, designers, curators, and writers with opportunities to showcase their work in a professional setting. They approach their programming as a form of world building, providing exhibitions, events, panels, and workshops that respond to the direct needs and interests of their communities. Our award panel described X-Space as a true anomaly, helping to catapult careers for young artists.
Okay, let's welcome our 3 finalists to the stage. Hello to BAM Collective, Paprika Festival, and X-Space. Hello, folks. Oh, it must be tense. This is the big money award. Fingers crossed for all of you. I'm going to welcome back to introduce our presenter. Please welcome back Claire Hopkinson. Thanks, guys.
So exciting indeed. So to present our final award, please welcome Randell Adij. Randell was a 2018 winner of the Arts for Youth Award himself with Rise Edutainment. But also additional congratulations are in order as he just been appointed as Ontario's first poet laureate. Wow, congratulations and welcome, Randell.
Thank you so much, Claire. I appreciate it. And I just want to say it's such a joy to be here today. I want to thank you. Please join us in congratulating this year's Arts for Youth Awards recipient. This was an award that helped our organization so much. And this year's winner is, are you ready? Drum roll for the big money. This year's winner is Paprika Festival. Congratulations, the podium is yours.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. This is so exciting. Hi everyone, my name is Kanika. I'm the artistic producer of Paprika Festival.
And I'm Julia Dixon, the general manager. Thank you so very much for this honor. It's so important that this award exists to celebrate organizations that foster skill development, leadership, and community building for youth. And right now in this moment, these organizations are absolutely crucial. We need places where young people can collaborate, learn, and become empowered to be leaders in their organizations. Organizations truly like BAM Collective and X-Space are outstanding examples of what it means to truly champion youth and our future leaders. So we're so very honored to be among these incredible organizations and artists who are doing extraordinary work.
This is Paprika's 20th anniversary, and the festival, which culminates our year-long programming, opens in just under 3 weeks. The 22 young artists who we've been training this year are busily preparing their works to share with the world. For the second time, our festival will be virtual, which is actually really exciting because these young creators have been open and willing to adapt from the start. Back in September, when we told them that there was a possibility that they would have to create work that could easily adapt to an outdoor virtual festival, they responded with eagerness, ready for whatever was thrown their way. While many of us are desperately still clinging to the creation methods that we've always known, these young creators have always known that some of the ways we've been creating art needs to be rethought. These artists' approach to art making during this pandemic is admirable, and I'm excited for the future of art making as they emerge into the leaders of tomorrow.
We're probably cutting it close to our 2-minute cutoff time, but we want to take a moment to thank Ali Joy Richardson and our other incredible board members for nominating us and for championing the work of young people. Thank you to the many theater companies, including Theater Pass Marai and Native Earth Performing Arts, who've given us a home for the last 20 years, and to the countless artist mentors who've given so generously to Paprika participants. We are so deeply grateful for this game-changing support and recognition from the Toronto Arts Foundation, so thank you all so very much.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to the Paprika Theater Festival. Incredible work that they do. What an amazing show we've had, folks. I am filled. I've got a list of names to watch for concerts and their work once the pandemic is over. I hope you do too. I want to, at this point, welcome back Kathleen and Claire for some final words.
You're on, Kathleen.
Okay, thank you. I just want to add my congratulations to all of our finalists today. I don't know about the rest of you, but I found this an incredibly emotional awards, probably because we're all stuck in our homes and we can't hug and kiss each other like we normally do. And we miss all that so much, but the talent is just incredible. So huge bravos, congratulations to everyone. So thrilled to see you all, even virtually. So we're going to pull all of today's award recipients back on screen to get a digital group photo with our mayor. So while they are repopulating your screens, I want to take a moment to thank our incredible host, Jesse Wente, who's always really the best, and so great to see his face too. This has been a truly historic year in so many ways, and we are thankful to have had you, Jesse, host not one, but 2 Digital Mayor Arts Award ceremonies in the past calendar year. So you'll be up for some kind of award next year. Thank you as always for your seamless work, your enthusiasm, and your genuine championship of Canadian artists. It's been such a pleasure to work with you on this event, and we are honored to have you as our terrific host.
I'd like to echo those words, Kathleen, and I want to give a special thank you to the mayor who had to leave, but for joining us to celebrate our finalists, our recipients, our special guests, And to those who helped make it happen, our nominators, sponsors, and award presenters, thank you. I also want to add special personal thanks to everybody who worked on, supported, and participated in today's annual celebration. You know, we're all in this together. And with that, I will conclude our 2021 Mayor's Arts Lunch Awards ceremony. Please feel free to stick around as we take a group shot and leave some love for our fantastic finalists in the chat function or on the social media hashtag TO Arts Awards, and see you next year.
Congrats, everyone. Thank you.
Yes,
Wow,
congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you. Congratulations, everybody.
And now you can go and enjoy some of that wine and butter tarts. Wine and butter tarts. What a wonderful combo.
Thanks so much, Claire.
Oh, Denise, Julia, Britta, Nika. Oh, it's so great. And I can't, and maybe there's others here, but I can't see. Maybe some people have left. Okay. Aiden, will you give us a cue when we're
clear. We should probably shut our cameras down.
yeah, okay. Thank you guys. Congratulations.